Hello, and welcome back to the Coop de Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Noah Fisher, Tommy Lazaridis, and special guest Owen Thompson from Villa on Tour. And we are here to discuss and review Tottenham Hotspur versus Aston Villa from back on Sunday. Yep, it was a huge match after the international break. Two teams going for top four. And guess what? We're there, top four. And we'll be bringing you all of that and much more after this. Okay, so yes, after the international break, we were heading down to North London to take on Tottenham in what was a winner-takes-all in the top four race leadership, and we are there, buddy. We got the win. It was an absolutely bonkers match. There's so much to talk about, and I'll start with you, Owen. You were there at White Hart Lane in the away section. Thanks for coming on again.
All right,
Yeah, it's great to have you here. And it's like going into the match, we had a couple of changes, but we had Diego Carlos coming in and Matty Cash pushing up into that sort of hybrid wing back role, winger role. And what were your thoughts going into the game and with the starting lineup? And did you give us much of a chance? I know how they had lots of injuries, of course.
I was weirdly quite confident going into the game, or at least until I saw the team news. I've never been a huge fan of the changing system. I thought very much a why change it if it's working. But I appreciate Tottenham, regardless of their injuries, is still a good side. There's a reason they are where they are. And yeah, I was a little bit skeptical, but I wanted to see kind of how it unfolded. And I was kind of proved correct in the first 20 odd minutes or so. I thought we were really backs against the wall to start with, and everyone kind of struggled to seem to know what their role was, especially in that back four. Like Konza and Torres being like a dead cert for most of the season now, and then almost Carlos came in and threw it all off a little bit. Not on him, of course, but I think there was a little bit of a lack in communication. There was that one chance very early doors when someone hit the post, and I think they all kind of just looked at each other a little bit lost. Obviously, we ended up kicking on and we got it bang on in the end. But to start with, I was a little bit skeptical.
Yeah, I mean, Noah, that first sort of 5-10 minutes was absolutely mad. It could have been 2-2. We had like Kulusevski hit the post, like Owen mentioned, and Udogie had another chance for them. But Pau Torres could have scored with a free header as well. And it just was one of those all-time classic Premier League matches, really, in terms of excitement and attacking play.
Yeah, I mean, I will talk in pre-podcast about a certain championship match 5 years ago against Forest, and it was very similar to that game. Actually, it's end-to-end, like a basketball game sort of situation. And I mean, I still can't believe Torres missed that header because he's so good at that. I guess that's how he likes to play, and I guess he made up for it later on in the half with a more difficult chance. To be honest with
Definitely.
you, I think. But when you have a ball put on a dime like that, you can't really complain.
That's it. And Tommy, the high line, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people do like it. It's been pretty successful for Villa this season. We've had, I think I saw a stat where before this game we had 128 offsides and the next best was something like 60 or 70. So we've had like so many more offsides than anyone else. This is obviously something that Unai Emery works on, but Tottenham did really well to break it a few times. I mean, obviously there was the 3 offside goals as well, but we looked a bit under that pump in the first 25 minutes, half an hour.
I think, all in all, Scott, the offside trap seems to work in our favour more times than not.
I agree.
There are the odd occasions where, teams will get through, but I think that's why Carlos was actually brought in. I do agree with Owen, like you're disrupting a winning kind of formula, and I thought Carlos was actually pretty good despite the deflection, and I saw some criticism around just his positioning with his hands behind his back and maybe, wouldn't have deflected him, but it is what it is. It was a great strike. But yeah, we were under the pump, and I think the offside trap was actually frustrating them the more frequent it started happening. And that's probably what started to, unfold throughout the first half. And then, Torres' goal was just an absolute sucker punch. Like they were all over us first half, full credit to the Spurs. And I saw some fuckwit on YouTube, by the way. I don't know his name's dickhead. We've got all this injury. I'm like, hang on, we've got Mings out, we've got Buidubuk. Oh yeah, but you got Pau Tyson. He wasn't starting when Mings was starting, and Buendia was one of the first names on the sheet, and he was looking incredible in preseason. And Ramsey's a starter as well, 9 times out of 10. Other players have just had to step in.
Yep.
So we've gone with what we have, and anyway, back to your question.
No, it was a good time to play them, but that's no excuse. We still had to go away to their ground.
Mate, you go with what you have, and
yeah,
right, they're 3 L's in a row, but they still play a brilliant brand of football, right? Ange ball, it's either you're going to score 10 or score none, and I think we frustrated them on the day, and I do love the photo. I don't know if you can, do a shot of it, the checkmate with Emery and Ange at the chessboard. It was pretty cool.
It's great, yeah. It's fantastic. And obviously we went 1-0 down, the Lo Celso goal. Very similar to the Slobosai goal that we conceded earlier on the season against Liverpool. And I think I was a bit disappointed in the way we defended it. He was obviously quite free. Konsa didn't know if he should mark him or mark one of the forward players. I can't remember who, but I think Kamara and someone else both went for the same ball at the near post and both sort of didn't get there or left it. And we go 1-0 down. But straight away, Ollie Watkins scores down the other end, but he's like big toes offside.
Yeah, I mean, on the goal, I think conceding the goal like that against Liverpool, we've upset Emery once. Having it happen again, he'd be fuming. So we work on that a lot in training. Obviously, I'm not sure why he has so much space. It's a good hit. I know it took a deflection, but if you don't shoot, you don't score. So you've got to give Lo Celso some credit. And it's actually a player that Emery would know quite well with his time in Spain. So living on the edge of the box, I don't know. He might be more angry at that. But Ollie Watkins needs to get shorter toes on our goal. I think it's so unlucky the rule. I think he spoke in his post-match press conference saying how much he doesn't really like VAR and everything. And look, you can hate it. I think it's going to hang around. I think it's in for good now. I just got to get used to it. The clear and obvious, which is no longer clear and obvious sort of thing, but it is what it is.
And Owen, the other big thing that happened in the first half that got the Tottenham Hotspur fans all rolled up was the tackle by Matty Cash, and that was straight after the disallowed goal. I think he was maybe a little upset about the VAR still, and he's taken it out on Bentancur, which was a nasty challenge. I think we could all admit that, but it was never a red card, and a lot of this talk of he should have been gone, I think, is ridiculous. But yeah, he certainly let him have one, and unfortunately for Bentancur, he seems to be injured now. But what were your thoughts on that and how Emery addressed it at halftime?
Well, I'll touch on the whole Emery changed it up at halftime. I thought, I woke up this morning and there's Tottenham fans still annoyed by it. I mean, I guess with my Villa hat on, if that was Mings coming back and it happened to him, you'd be rightfully fuming. It's not a great tackle, but people are suggesting it's really high. I don't think it is. I think it's on his ankle that he's injured, not his knee. I mean, it could have been anyone on the pitch at any time. It just happened to be him, and he's just come back so far. I think, I can see why people are frustrated, but it's not a red card in that. It's just a late challenge, and the ref was throwing out some cards a lot in the first half. I think he got it bang on at half time. I think with Cash fired up and the crowd were on his back, he was a walking red card, I think. So take him off, and I can't remember who else we took off.
Diaby.
Oh, yeah, Diaby, yeah. Bailey and Tielemans were exactly what we needed. Tielemans especially, I'll give him a massive shout out because we needed someone in the midfield to put our foot on the ball. And I always think games are won and lost in your midfield. If your midfield's not up to it, then you're not going to win the game. And McGinn was being shut out the game really well by them, to be fair. Every time he got the ball, there was 2, 3, 4 around him. So we needed that person just to put their foot on the ball and just get it up the pitch a bit. And Tielemans did that bang on. And then it allowed the likes of Luiz and McGinn and Kamara to get themselves doing their game as well. So Tielemans, was bang on for it.
No, Tielemans was amazing when he came on. And Tommy, just before the half, of course, there was the Pau Torres goal that we've got to talk about before we get to the second half, because the delivery by Douglas Luiz, though, I mean, that's just like the top 1% in terms of his set pieces now are up there with the likes of, David Beckham or these kind of like, people you talk about, the James Ward-Prowse, these guys that just put it on a dime every time. And he's just such a weapon for us. And all this talk that's coming out of him, Arsenal want to sign him. We need to keep hold of him with everything possible because he is having a season and a half.
I think if we weren't doing as well as we are, I think his mind might have been swayed. If we're sitting mid-table, things just aren't going our way. But I think based on how we're performing, I don't see why he'd want to jump ship, right? We're competing and looks like we're on the incline. Arsenal certainly aren't looking championship contending like last season. And even if they were, they'd probably bottle it last minute. But
they are top of the league.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all right.
Yes, but I agree with you. I think that
mate,
I don't think we're selling. We're not
I mean.
selling anyone. Not with the situation we're in. Like we're not selling anyone.
If anything, I think Ollie would have been more persuaded by Arsenal, given I think he's a wild Arsenal fan alongside his family. But anyway, we digress. So to Torres, what a goal! I think he's really starting to become a bit of a bulldog centre back. He's a bit of a dirty prick, some of his tackles that he does, and I like it. I think you need that in a centre back. I think Mings would be very proud. Speaking of which, I don't think we announced this. Thank God he's not retiring. So Mings, don't do subtle post next time and leave us all on edge, right?
I know.
So
that was, crazy.
So he's looking good. A lot of I didn't think he got as forward as usual with his passes. I thought Conte actually looked really good with his ball playing skills. And I know this is kind of second up, but I think one player that really needs a shout out is Kamara. He got a yellow early on, just so disciplined with his tackling. And probably normal times, I think if this was Gerrard, he would have gone in for a second tackle, get a red, see you later. We'd probably lose the game. But I thought he looked really disciplined, and he definitely earned a vote from me. But Torres is just settling in well. Love the passion, runs to the fans, right? Like I would have loved to be at that game. Owen, were you there?
Yes, I was there.
Oh, mate, what was it like? Tell us again. Stamp your passport. What do you need? What do you need?
Like it was mentioned at the start, it was a very end-to-end game, and I think, as I'm sure many neutrals that watched it will have gone, yeah, this is quite a good game. Both teams going for top four, like you said. Obviously, we'll get on to the second goal in a minute, but the second one went in, and just for a split second on the camera, you just see people in the way and just falling over each other. It was criminal that they cut the camera away and they just pan it on Watkins, just because people were just on top of each other. Max was flying down the stairs and everything. No, it was a pretty mental away to be in.
Awesome.
Yeah, right.
And how do you find the Tottenham Stadium overall as an experience for an away fan?
I really like it. The area that's in it's interesting. It feels like it's like this big spaceship in a very interesting area, should we say? But yeah, the ground itself is brilliant. It's so up to date, and it's just different from your newer sort of like the retail park bowl sort of stadium. This is a quality stadium, and that one stand down the other end is just massive. I don't know how they managed to do it all on one tier, but that's massive. But I had a very, very enjoyable day.
And we talked about the changes at halftime. We obviously needed to change something, and the one star man I think on the afternoon is Unai Emery again. I don't know how many points he's got us over the last year since he's been here, but he just keeps managing to do these in-game tweaks and substitutions and tinkering with the system. And he just seems to be able to sniff what we need, like no other manager that I can think of Villa for a very long time. And he brought on Bailey, he brought on Tielemans, and Tielemans, wow, what a 45 minutes of football. Even before the assist for the goal, he was picking up these little pockets in between the defense and the midfield for Tottenham, where it just took all the pressure off the defense. They were attacking, they were throwing themselves forward, and then we get the ball up to him and he just have an air of calm and just change the game.
I mean, that's the player we sign right there, isn't it? But touching on Unai Emery, the master, so I see he's got the tied most wins in a calendar year of any Villa manager or something, and we've still got a few games to go, so he's most likely going to beat that record. So 22 wins in a calendar year? That's just extraordinary stuff. And yeah, I still can't believe he's our manager, to be honest. Seeming where we were when we did poach him, we were 17th or something when Gerrard got sacked. It was it's
nuts.
quite remarkable to think about it. And back to our free signing in Euro Tielemans, that's the player we signed from Leicester. And all Leicester fans said he does this. He has glimpses of brilliance, all that kind of stuff. And look, I think he's finally settled in. It takes players different amount of times to settle in at clubs. And like someone like Leon Bailey has also, understands his role perfectly off the bench. And he's averaging some ridiculous stat of goals and assists per 90 minutes or something at the moment. And he's playing for like no more than 45 minutes a game, it seems like. But he's got everyone ticking.
What was the reason for actually pulling Diaby off, apart from being shit at half time? Was that all? Was it injury related?
I think
that was it.
Tactical. Yeah.
There was one moment in the first half where Ollie Watkins, I think they gave the ball straight to Ollie, and he gave it to Diaby, and
he didn't shoot it.
Yeah, he could have just got the shot away, and he didn't. And I just thought, he wasn't at the races at all. And I actually was saying in our group chat that they need to get him off because he didn't do anything in that first half. But he wasn't the only one. I thought McGinn was actually quite poor in the first half, kept giving the ball away, very unlike him.
I think they're onto McGinn though. That's right. So he's a high energy player, and they got a lot of high energy players. So just double or triple team him. They're onto him, sticking the ass out, turning. They really nullified him, and I thought he probably should have come off a bit earlier as well. But anyway, it is. And
Matty Cash as well, obviously.
That was a good start.
Having a torrid time. Yeah.
I think he was just getting to his head a bit, and sometimes you've got to make those subs. I thought Conte looked pretty good at right back when obviously Cashy came off, and I think Tielemans, didn't he play like as a bit of a second striker almost?
Yeah, he was the second highest.
They almost swapped him and Bailey. That's right. So I thought it was a great move, and definitely find some good pockets. I think Tielemans is more of a confidence player. I mean, anyone is. And when you're going from Leicester who are struggling, a lot of them said he's either up to it or he's not. I said, well, when you're struggling every game, it's got to play with your mental health a bit. And I think he's actually looking better the more he comes on. So if he's playing a lot of the Europa games and he's playing half a game in the Prem, I think he's more than satisfied. He's certainly worked his ass off for it. So I'll give him credit for that. It's one thing to bitch about it. It's another thing to do something about it.
I think he'll be in the starting lineup for the Bournemouth game. I was surprised. I was surprised to see him dropped for this Tottenham game, but we'll have to wait and see. Emery's got his ideas, and we've also got other players like Ramsey coming back, so that's going to make it even more difficult for people to keep their place. But Owen, let's get let's go on to the goal. Ollie Watkins on fire. Brilliant play. Kamara to Tielemans, little 1-2, and the touch finish reminded me of Erling Haaland, earlier on in the weekend against Liverpool. He scored a similar goal. It was just a great striker's finish.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't throw this question to his number one fan in Tommy, who I had never doubted Ollie Watkins this season.
He's getting fed up with his line of questioning.
Yeah, I think he is. And,
he's a believer now, right?
Hey, that don't get me started on that fucking sitter he missed. Should have sealed the game.
Yeah, we'll talk about the header at the back stick. But
we'll go with the positive first.
We'll go with positive stuff first. But what a finish. I mean, as you said, Haaland did something very similar against Liverpool, and I don't think I've ever seen Watkins have a goal like that. It was a very he could have. Well, I thought he was going to take another touch, which I think might have
very un-Ollie, very un-Ollie.
Yeah, it's very un-Ollie.
Caught me off guard. Caught me off guard.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. Caught the keeper off guard, and that's just the player he is at the moment. He's in great form, and what a finish. And
Vicario is a freak of a keeper, but are we saving the best till last? My God, Emi Martinez. Despite the little Argentina, I thought it was piss or something in his hair, but it's the Argentina flag. So, what an absolute performance! It was funny seeing everyone's votes. I said, just do 2 and 1 vote. We all know who's getting 3. When he made
that moment was moment of the match in terms of getting us the 3 points. That double save was absolutely heroic, and it just proves what a colossal sort of presence, leader. Big time, big moment, clutch performer he is.
Yep, and I think it's just a testament to his commitment to the club. just that confidence, and I think he was losing his shit and celebrating. I think he's kind of toned that down a bit. Like, I'm all for being confident, but not too cocky. But that being said, touchwood, we haven't had a pen conceded, so we won't know yet.
I also think he's turned down the shithousery to an acceptable level. I think after the World Cup, he got a little bit carried away with his like whole, sort of persona and this whole sort of, I'm the bad guy, I'm the villain, and he's reined it in just enough where I think he's not going to get booked like he was last season and that sort of thing.
He was probably on football memes with 2 of the recent goals that he conceded, right? I think one came off his head and his ass or whatever, so probably brought him back down to earth.
Yeah, the one against Forest.
I think Emery would have pulled him in, and I think he's on a bit too much of the Colombian marching powder post World Cup, and rightfully so, right? So I think that's kind of phased out now, and he's really just gone Mr. Professional all of a sudden, and that's the Emery we love and know. So anyway,
that's right. We saw him in the international break in the away end, like trying to like fight the policeman at Brazil versus Argentina. So,
yes.
He's certainly a crazy dude, but have you seen a better keeper at Villa, Noah, than Owen, than Emi Martinez and what he's doing for us at the moment? Because he's got to be one of the best we've ever had, right?
Yeah, every single game we seem to be talking about something that he's doing. And yeah, like you said, that double save at the end, it just comes out of absolutely nothing. I think the game was kind of just petering out, to be fair, and then out of nowhere, there's one save, and then the one that's going in the top corner, he manages to pull it off. That's when you could tell at the end of the game how much he meant to. I'm sure you've seen the videos of him and Bailey, I think it was, came flying over to the away end at full time, and they were throwing themselves around, and everyone was loving it. But yeah, he was brilliant. And once again, and again, like you said, I think that
I love Bailey's just commitment to the fans. I love Bailey's celebrations. He's always celebrating harder than the goal scorer. And even I just think Bailey's presence on the pitch is just a guy you love. I think we did a while back. I think Bailey would be so good to hang around with. 1, he's a good dude. 2, you'd get really cheap marijuana. So also, Noah, you probably need to update that Martinez card in the back. Surely he's better than 86.
That's the last one I bought. All right? I'm broke.
Now,
so.
I've heard Emmy's turned the corner because of the world-class Robin Olsen that he's sniffing his ass, waiting for his turn. So it could be the great Robin Olsen in training.
Look, I think Robin's going to be sitting on the bench for a long time coming. No, it's just so great.
He gives a shit? Do you reckon Olsen gives a shit? Club's buzzing. If Touchwood anything, he knows he's second up. I mean, to be honest, I'd rather play that Sinisalo, who I think got a recent call up for his country, if I'm correct.
He's been playing for Finland for ages, I think.
I think Olsen's happy being number 2, but I'm not sure. You'd have to ask him,
mate.
Anyway,
let's not let him rob us of oxygen. This pod, we'll give him a little bit of love.
Yeah. So no, we saw the game out. There was another offside goal for Son near the end that sort of just at that point I was starting to think maybe it is going to be our day, because obviously he'd already had 2 before that. I thought Spurs sort of ran out of legs a bit, and we kind of managed the game quite well in that last 10 minutes, kept the ball well. Slowed down the pace a bit, and got the 3 points, and that puts us in a position where we've got Bournemouth away coming up next Sunday. We've got Manchester City at home midweek, and then Arsenal at home. So in the next 3 games, if we went on a run here and somehow got 9 points out of those 3 games, I know that's quite optimistic to think that. Are we in a title race?
I don't really want to get carried away and say yes. If we were to somehow beat City and Arsenal and Bournemouth, then why not? Why not go for it?
You've got a dream, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Leicester, almost 10 years ago.
What are we paying? What are we actually paying?
I'd have a look, but
you will see a cheeky ticket.
I saw we were a 0.1% chance of winning the league
before
Tottenham. And then when we won the league, we went to 0.6%. So
you dare to dream. You dare to dream. Like Leicester fans never thought they'd win the Premier League.
Scott? We were at 1%, weren't we?
I think
it was 0.1. It was 0.1, then 0.6.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're still less than
higher.
We're still less than 1%. Yeah. But if we beat Man City and Arsenal, we'll be Well, we'll be like maybe 3%.
It'd be pretty remarkable. It'd be pretty remarkable. And I tell you what, if we do somehow get in a title race, I'm taking a mortgage. I'm coming back to England to watch some games. I wouldn't be missing that. But yeah, you dare to dream. That's all I can say.
But we're definitely, Owen, I think, in a top 5 race. If we're going to say top 5's Champions League next year, as they're saying that it will be, we're definitely in that. And I think we've got a great chance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we win all those 3 games that we've just mentioned, we probably will be top anyway.
Yeah.
But
God,
yeah, I mean, we just got to take one game at a time. No one gets carried away. I don't think anyone's thinking of winning the league, or even, to be fair, not many are going to think we'll stick around and get top 4. I mean, the media still write us off. Sky Sports on Sunday was, well, Tottenham were unlucky. Tottenham have got injuries. No, Villa were quite good, actually, in the second half. But I don't mind the fact that they don't give us any airtime. We just go about our business. And all of a sudden, when we end up second or something, people are like, oh, actually, hang on a second. But no, we take each game as it comes. And before all the league games, we've got a big game tomorrow night that we need to navigate through first.
Are you going?
We're just enjoying the ride.
Are you going tomorrow night?
Yes, I am. Yeah, it should be a tasty one. There's a lot of noise about Legia bringing thousands over, and they've had their allocation reduced loads because of trouble. And when they've been over before, they've caused problems. So yeah, it should be quite a tasty one.
Yeah, and of course, if we win that game, Tommy, I think by 2 clear goals, we guarantee top spot in the group. So I think we're going to see quite a strong team, because then the last game we can send the reserves, the kids or whatever to Bosnia for that last match.
I totally phased out of what you were saying, but I agree, Scott.
I'm just saying we need to win this game. It's quite an important match against Legia Warsaw.
I heard before we send the kids to Bosnia, I'm like, is there some update on global politics that I'm not aware of?
No, it's not. It's not the war or anything. No, it's okay. But no. I think maybe we'll see Kamara play tomorrow night, because he's suspended for Bournemouth. But there'll probably be a few changes, like Bailey and these kind of guys, maybe Ramsey. Anyone else you want to see start against Legia?
Yeah, well, Jacob Ramsey for one. And the guy that's returned, John Duran. I think he'll get a couple of minutes, hopefully 90, and score another goal.
Alex Moreno as well was on the bench against Spurs.
I saw Agrabonum on the bench as well. I wouldn't mind seeing him get a run around. So I don't think he's back from injury.
Wait. No, can you pronounce Tim's surname again?
Agrabonum. Yeah.
Rogenbaum.
It's not a Rogenbaum. It's Agrabonum.
It starts with an I.
Yeah.
Oh, you kill me, mate.
Look, if anyone in the comments knows exactly how it's pronounced, please let us know. But
Timmy,
I don't know.
Let us know.
Yeah, Timmy, that'd be great. He's a avid watcher. So we should probably get on to predictions, as it's a big week coming up. So if you could give us the predictions for Legia tomorrow night, and then Bournemouth away on Sunday. We'll start with you, Noah.
Legia Warsaw, I think it's going to be a strong team. We're going to have out, and I think we want to finish top of the group, so I'm going to go 3-0 to Aston Villa to win that.
And Bournemouth?
Bournemouth, I've only been to the Vitality once, and we lost, and we haven't won there since Gested's goal, I think. But I think we'll win. I think we'll win. I'm going to go 2-1 again.
2-1.
Okay, Owen, what are you thinking for this week?
Well, we don't keep clean sheets, do we? So
nope.
I'll go 3-1 tomorrow, because I think we'll be up for it. I think even if we only win by 1, it goes to goal difference, and we've got 3 or 4 on them, so we should be fine in that sense. Bournemouth is such a banana skin for us. Like Noah said, we haven't won there for years, and it's one of them where we could cause us some problems, but I can't sit on here and say we'll struggle. So I'll go 2-1 on Sunday.
Yeah, Bournemouth away will be an early start for you boys, won't it?
Yeah, very early, yeah. Yeah, not one I'm looking forward to with the early start and with how cold it is at the moment.
All right, so Tommy, your predictions?
Legia Warsaw, I'm going to go 6-0.
I
honestly, didn't we pound that Dutch mob?
Yeah, 4-1.
Yeah, I think 6-0.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, I think they're gonna be full on Kranskis from the night before. So I think we're not weight testing them, so they're going to be a bit heavy. This mob. Anyway,
And
then anyway, for
Bournemouth?
I think 3-0. I think we are in form. I think we're comfortable. I think Kamara, obviously playing tomorrow, is reassuring. All right, there might be some chopping and changing in Bournemouth, but I think we've just got a lot of momentum. I mean, like, we done Spurs, and just I think momentum's going to keep rolling.
Okay, and I will say 4-1 to Villa against Legia. I think, we'll win that one quite comfortably. And then I'll say 1-0 to Villa against Bournemouth. I think that one will be tight and could be. I think we will keep a clean sheet though.
When was our last clean sheet that we kept in the Premier League?
Chelsea?
Yeah, I think it might have been
Chelsea.
Mm.
They're
It's
just
been a while.
keeping points away.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
All right. Well, that's a good place to finish as any. Thanks again, Owen, for coming on. And it was great to see you on the Villa on Tour video. Please, everyone, go and check that out if you haven't already. I'm sure you'll follow Max and the Villa on Tour boys very closely. But it's been a really exciting season with in the top 4. It's up and up. We got some huge games coming up, lots of games over December in the Christmas period, and we will be bringing them all to you on Coup de Villa. So please like and subscribe, listen to us on Spotify, and leave us some questions like our friend Roger has been leaving. So we will get to them, Roger, I promise, on the next video. So any questions about the team, about us, about our Villa fans here in Australia and all of that, we will answer them. And up the Villa, and we will see you after Bournemouth. See you later, up the Villa.